It's another morning. It's Tuesday, version 2 of Lockdown Online Facebook Pilates. Welcome everybody. Let us know who's in the room. I appreciate you'll be getting your setup sorted. I'm here today to do with you a very smiling and enjoyable workout. Smiling our way through, hello Menna, using the weighted balls or hand weights or bottles of water or cans of beans or no weights at all. Good morning, Menna. Glad you're in the room, and show me who's in the room. It'll help me visualize you while I teach. We will have a slower version of a workout today, deliberately to give you a chance to not just become manic or totally dynamic without any true core connection. Morning, Margaret, again. It's okay being out here, isn't it, just now? So let's keep this going and see how many days we can do together. It is video 106, which is quite incredible, and we will be here every morning. Good morning, Ken. Great to see you too. I appreciate that some people do have to work in this world, and that's completely understandable. But for those in the room, you'll start with your legs and a power sensation, in other words, stronger muscles, more of your global sequencing. But the better you are, good morning, Diane, at core connecting with your breath, then the global muscle work that we do will have its place and will work for you. It is video 106. Good morning, Tina, as well. Find your weights, people. Video 106. If you've got your weights ready, you're ready to roll. I'm going to go to the other side of the camera so you can see me, and we'll start. Remember, I've said it's a slower pace, but very, very deliberately targeting the global muscles to create deep heat and strength and power. But with using weights, we need some upper body connection. Let's get this show on the road. Hello and welcome. I'm going to stand slightly sideways on to give a better connection with your sense of what angles I'm creating with my body. Start with your feet relatively closer together. Relax at the knee joints, especially as I know who's in the room. Draw your breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So there's sensation of relaxing the shoulders. My weights are gently pressing against the outsides of the thighs. The pelvic connection is the pelvic floor navel spine. I've corrected my posture. I'm lordotic. I've got a slight bend or tilt of the pelvis to increase the length of my lower back. Breathing in, send the bottom back into your first squat and breathe out and back up. Pay attention to the inhaling and the exhaling as you start to move your form with a little bit more detail than yesterday's opener. Yesterday's opener was deliberately just to blow away the cobwebs and for us all to say to each other, we can do this, we have this. All right, inhaling, hinging at the hip, exhaling, pressing through the heels. By keeping your hands pressing against the weighted balls, it'll help to keep your upper back drawing backwards through the shoulder blades. The issue with asking you to draw your shoulder blades back is some of you then let your rib cage go. If you keep the breath, then you should keep the rib cage placement. Next time you go down, stay. This is still setting you up. You're going to breathe in and out with that smaller range of movement, checking that your knees are staying where they belong, which is not forwards of the toes. But with the add-on of the weights, your upper back shoulder blade, mid-shoulder, think of skin folds between your shoulder blades in the direction of the spine. You're inhaling, you're keeping your elbows reaching back, you're keeping some pressure on the weights, exhaling. 2 more moments here, very deliberately targeting the hamstring glute connection. You're targeting your core breath, and stay. Breath out then, pelvic tilt, using pelvic floor. Breathe in and back to neutral. So the breathing out, you've got your press against the hands until the pelvis creating the equivalent of an imprint, and inhale back to neutral. Just 2 more. The setup of your pelvic tilt will help deal with any asymmetry that goes on deeper onto the internal stabilizers. That's pelvic to legs, pelvic to lower back. Stay where you are then in that pelvic tilt, and then finally allow the arms to hang. You'll feel your shoulders come away from each other, and you'll forwards roll your spine down without it going to the lower back. The lower back stays relatively imprint. Exhale then, leaving your arms heavy and letting the weights release the shoulder. Leave the head hanging, but pelvic tilt. Watch your thighs as you reverse the spine all the way back up. Back we are for our squats, have the arms here. Now you're going to push your arms back and bring them to the side as you go down. Press the arms further back than the pelvis. You reach your arms to the sky, same principles as the previous squat. Squat shape stays the same, now we pay more attention. The weights are facing each other as you go back. If you could pull the weights together, they'd clap each other. The moving of your arms backwards has to happen with your upper back muscles. We're not asking anything other than the upper back to activate. You've got 2 more, exhaling back up, inhaling down, pressing your arms behind you and upwards. Go and stay. So staying here then, my arms are reaching back, my chin's nodded in, I'm stable through the glutes and the obliques. I'm going to bend at the elbow and kick back. It's like a tricep connection. Inhaling to bend at the elbow, breath out to extend the arm. The arm bends, the extension comes from the back, shoulder blade area, back of your upper arm, right into behind the elbow joint, but not in the elbow joint itself. So you're getting that tricep area, you know, the saggy baggy back wing area that we have as we get beautifully older. 2 more, keep your shoulders away from your neck. 1 more, and then again, allow the tension to release. Breathe in. Let the breath out, forwards flex you, rolling down through the spine, breathe in, leave the head hanging. Breath out, leaving your arms as though they're no longer belonging to you. Allow the spinal mobility to bring you back upright. Next shape then, you've got your wide shape in turnout, not massive turnout. I'm going to ask you to find your squat to start with, because then we'll set up your arms. Remember, if the weights become too intense and they go to your neck, then pop them down. You don't suddenly want to feel that you're getting a good arm workout but destroying yourself. You're going to go deeper into the squat, and as you stand up, open your arms. So the weights come to the breast area, the pec area, the elbows are bent. It's as though your arms are just opening out and then your elbows bend in. The upper back, imagine the upper back only can pull your arms out. That's your key. As you go into your squat, it's the same principles as hinging back at the hip and then opening the hip. Inhaling, keep the upper back tensioned. Exhaling, all the way up. This is deliberately slower because every one of us needs the detail of the connection rather than that just sense of having been on a big run. All right, I want us to come back to this studio feeling whole, rehabbed, connected like you haven't been able to be, and focused. Okay, people, you've got 1 more. You should be feeling the upper back working for you now. Go down here and stay. So now we take the arms out, and you should feel the upper back, but as you hinge and sit deeper into your hamstring glutes, pulling the thigh bones out wider, you're getting your upper back working harder. If it's too intense in the shoulder, bring your arms lower down as though they're wings reaching behind you. You know children play at being Batman? It's that type of shape. Here, your chest is open, so you've got length through the front pec area, you've got shortening, tensioning, strengthening through the back mid-rhomboid area, and you're working into your hamstrings and glutes. Stay still, freeze frame. Place the hands on your thighs, but don't let your shoulders round. Breath out, press against the weights and pelvic tilt. Inhaling and back to neutral. Breathe out, draw pelvic floor up, shrink the tummy in, and flex through the lower back. Remember, it's not a bum squeeze. It's mobility using pelvic floor and deep transverse work, internal oblique. 2 more. And then once again, allow your arms to hang. Losing the tension through the upper back, you'll breathe out and allow the weights to guide you down. Press the weights into the floor and stretch the legs. Be sure of pushing down on the weights as well as pressing the legs straight. So exhaling to stretch and bend, pressing down with the hands to keep a symmetry from pelvis to heels and from heels to armpits. The next time your legs bend, stay. Place your weights back onto your thighs, pull your thighs open, leave your head hanging, roll your spine back up, pelvic tilting, until you find yourself all the way upright. Next position is harder. Actually, I'll face this way so I can see the camera. You're going to find your lunge, so step back, and this alone requires stability. I'm not going to rush through this or bluff it, because if I find it hard to stabilise with great alignment, then I'm absolutely certain that many people out there do. I've got my left leg forwards and my right leg back. The heel is up on the back leg and the heel is down and pushing against the ground on the front leg. We're simply going to crouch back and up, initially keeping the weights by the sides. Your demand on the upper back is shoulder stability rather than lots of kind of whacking your arms to and fro. If the position feels too stretched, I've just moved my back leg in a bit to give me a little bit more control. And the weights, if they go onto the side thigh, side hip, help that symmetry as you fold at the hip and push. It's a hinge joint, remember, so you hinge and extend. The secret here, though, is to do it without rounding your upper back. So we're now ready for level 2. My weights are here. I'm going to bend my elbows and extend. Keep the weight so that it pushes possibly to the end of your mat. She says, I've overbalanced. Inhaling and exhale. Breathing in. As the elbows bend and both knee joints bend, the load through the front leg, hamstring glute, should build. We go down and reach. Inhaling and. If it's not going straight into the seat area on this front leg, then you're not in the right position. You're possibly tucking your bottom under, or you're taking all of your load through the back leg, which is a no-no. Are you ready? This is going to be horrible. Staying with your arms back. Go down an inch, up an inch. Now we're getting even more going on through the front leg. So this is our stability system from the side bottom, back of the hamstring connection to the bum bone, back leg really, really light. And then finally, reach your arms, balance and crouch. Balance and crouch. Our aim in Pilates is to create single leg stability. You've got to lean forwards and forwards. Inhaling and exhaling. Just 2 more. That should give you what you need for your bottoms. Last time. So balance and stabilise. Breathe. And oh my goodness. Other leg. Find your shape. Help the pelvis and the brain know where the upper body is by holding on here. And we go down. You find the first crouch. It's your scooter shape, isn't it, on the reform as you're breathing. First things first, keep your arms there, chest open as you go up and down. Crouching. The truth is, you could be using the chair now, and for all of us, including myself, I see all of this as rehab pelvic stability. Because life is so one-sided, you rarely get the uniformity of working in your flexor extensor sequencing with pure neutral. So therefore, instability is created because we don't have an equal uptake of pairs of muscles. Whichever way, as long as this is going straight into your hamstring glute area, you can crouch and push. If the upper back is gripping those balls, then by all means get rid of them. The balls in this position are facing each other. You inhale and sit your bottom back. It's the equivalent of a single leg squat, you could argue. Inhale, the minute I take my tension off, I roll over. So back and forwards. Hinge, hinge, and stay. If you want to hold your arms in, you can, but now we sit deeper. Remember, the load is through this front leg. Your shoulder blades are drawing towards each other. Your trunk connection's happening. Your knees are forwards of your toes. And you're firing, finding, connecting right into hamstring glute. Are we ready? You're going to reach to balance and return. Reach. Finding somewhere to look at afraid of being slightly wobbly, that's the body's finding its stability system and showing you where you need more work. So my hamstring and glutes are working like crazy, and it makes me appreciate that despite being back in the studio, I've clearly done far more standing and teaching than enough core work like this. 2 more. And 1 more. And oh my goodness, straight through here. You've got a final exercise in this leg work. Just pushing my mats together. You will use the bar for this one. One of the first shapes to deteriorate in the hip, the whole hip health, is rotation. So we're using the bar because you don't want to resist doing rotation just because it's awkward and hard. You want to find where your level is. You stand in your plie, have a moment where your core connection is able to take place, relax the tension. The side bottom abductor that has been got going, fired up, triggered, whatever you want to see it as, is now giving you a chance to get a bit more blood flow. To find your proper curtsy or plie, it's the hinge joint again. I need you to hinge. I'll show you the hinge. Take time to find. The feet should have identical turnout to the thighs. You can't take your feet wider in rotation than the thighs are happy to go. So once you've found your hinge position, I'm going to get you to get both sides of the rotators. So pelvic, lateral rotation for the thighs, working away with the deeper muscles that allow the thigh bone to turn out. That allows the legs to pull out, and these abductor, these lateral rotators, get to have a show up into your party. This is a bottoms party. Okay, you're breathing in and out. I'm using the bar, you can use a chair. I would definitely use something because we're going to go to single legs. I've got this weight here. I'm going to hold it either like a ballet dancer, or I'm going to hold it to my hip with my elbow back. Whichever way, I'm going to take my inside to the leg that's nearest the bar and place it behind by, if you're on a narrow mat, almost the width of the mat. So sink and now deepen the connection with the same muscle that you're trying to find. The load, therefore, my back leg is really light, but the back leg is controlling my symmetry as I go down and up. If it's a lot to think about, pull the weight against your hip. And the rules of not allowing the knicker line here to take the effort are about pelvic neutral. If you find that the front of your thigh to hip relationship is the one that feels the most, chances are you've either twisted or you're no longer in neutral. I'm showing different places with the ball actually. You could have it behind you, helping you know where your sacrum is. You could have it at the hip, helping you keep space and not tucking under. Whichever way, you should be keeping all of your load in the front, side, bottom leg. We're now going to push and the front back leg goes straight. Sit deep down, it's like a plie, push, and your back leg straightens, but your load is through the front leg. This is the same as the lunge we did a few moments ago, with the back leg being a means of guiding. It's like a stabilizer. It's still in turnout, but it's not a main contributor to the actual exercise. We're training single leg stabilization. So now as I go, I'll push my leg, the back leg slightly hovers. You could flow your ball forwards if you want, and then pull it back with a bent elbow, flow it forwards, and pulling it back with a bent elbow. You're not allowed to round the spine. Inhale to crouch, exhale to expand. Nothing in the lower back. You've 2 more. Inhaling, I'm not leaning heavily on the bar, but it makes a huge difference to my technique. And stay. Hold your form, nothing locked out, everything rotated, and up you come. Wow. If you did that correctly, as slowly as I demoed, then you found a really good connection. For the sake of the camera, I'm going to stay here, okay? So you can turn around if you want, or you can do what I'm showing. You could, I suppose, be facing your chair. Whichever way, I've now got my right leg forwards and my back foot far enough away. I crouch, and then the weight of so I've got my right arm, right leg as the weighted arm, front leg, loaded leg. You're going down and up, finding the hinge in the lateral rotation. The weight is in the outsides of the foot on that front leg. The thigh bone turned out to monitor and keep with the foot and vice versa. So the foot and thigh bone are partners in this. I sit my weight back, that hinge moment, and back, crouching without tucking under, so I'm honouring pelvic neutral. And gradually the movement can start to get a little bit bigger, so that the front leg, you end up forwards, and then the back leg straightens, but no joint locks out. Inhaling, feel it, find it, breathe out and push that ground away. Breathe in, resist any rotation of the pelvis, and can you feel the side bottom, side thigh? Are you maintaining pelvic neutral? And please breathe. I'm having to talk, so breath becomes more limited. All right, are you ready for the balance? We crouch down, you start to press and tension. Inhaling. Exhale, this sensation of almost being more elegant. It doesn't matter if you want to keep your arm outside or pull it forwards, thinking more dancer-esque. What you don't want is to pick up the pace and find the wrong place. Okay, 3 more. And 2 more. This is your last one. And pull the body together. All right, people. From there, all I'm going to do before I switch off, we'll have a 5-minute pause. I'm going to have to keep these videos to 20 minutes because otherwise the people that I have to send them to who can't get Facebook, it's too big a deal. So you can take both weights. We're going to stretch you through the hamstrings. So breathe in. Breathing out, feel the forwards nodding roll of the neck. All the way down. And then take your hands forwards until you feel as though you can press forwards and backwards. It's not unlike down dog, but by hinging back you get straight into stretching out through the back of the thigh, the glutes. So I'm fractionally going to tippy toes and then really pushing down through my heels, leaving the head, pushing down through the heels, bend the legs, breathe and realign the spine. Well, there you go, a 20-minute legs and power with weights that I just dropped workout. Enjoy, hope you found that it's switched you on. 5-minute pause, no time for bacon butty, nor even a cup of tea, just have a sip of water, and we'll be back for our abdominal Pilates moment, using the weights again, so maybe find your head cushion. All right, so bye for now, I'll see you all very soon. Hello, Lindsay.